This list today we are using the UR for the sound, and you can see it commonly appears in the middle of a word, and it can sometimes appear at the start of a word but not often. I think urban and urge are probably the only times that it really appears at the start of a word. So it is a common sound for the middle. You have to remember that because the positioning is important to know whether to use IR, ER or UR for the sound in words. ER is mostly at the end of words, as we can see in a couple of these words. So in curve, we've got some other things happening in these words too. It's not just the sound. We're revising that we use a C before a U for the sound. So that's happening a few times. Now when we have CE, it's making the C say S. So, and we've got it down here again in a cur. So we know we're using the C there for all of those. Now in curve, English words can't end in V. That's the only reason we've got that E on the end. We don't need it to make that R controlled vowel make a long sound because it's already making a long sound. Now just be aware on these ones, urban and curtain, you've got the A-N in urban and you've got the A-I-N in curtain. So if we say them correctly, we'll be able to spell them with more certainty. But if you're giving them that schwat sound, it will be tricky. The same with murder. If you can hear the it'll make it easier to spell. If you go murder, it's giving it a schwat sound and it'll make it harder. Furnish, you've got the SH at the end making the sh sound. So we only use SH at the start or end of words. Purpose, you've got that the E after the S just to show that that's not a plural form. Same with purchase, you've got the E just making sure that we know it's not a plural form. Now surface, you've got the CE where the E's making the C say S. Now in these words down here you've got suburb, so sub is a prefix that we're adding to the root herb, so we know herb has something to do with being a city. But the prefix for occur, it should be OB, but because it's difficult to say obcur, there's a prefix change rule which tells us that we're allowed to change the last letter of the prefix to match the first letter of the root word, cur, so that it's easier to mouth the word, to say the word. So obcur, a bit tricky, so we make it occur. So we're changing that B to the C there. Now let's have a look at what these words mean. They're fairly simple in their meaning. So curve just means a bend or not straight. Urban means a city or metropolitan area. A curtain is just a covering, a fabric covering for a window. A murder is when someone is killed on purpose for a reason. Furnish is when we decorate or place furniture into a building. Purpose is when something's done for a reason. A purchase is when we buy something. Surface is the outside covering of an object. A suburb is the residential area of a city. And occur means when something has happened. So you can go through and read the words, go through each one, sound it 3 times, spell it or syllabify it, spell it 3 times, write it 3 times, then check it to make sure that it's okay. And if you've made an error, make sure that you go back and write it correctly. In this list we've got the UR making the R controlled vowel so we've got curve, urban, curtain, murder, furnish, purpose, purchase, surface, suburb and occur. Now it's important that you try to remember that these words all have the UR for the sound because there are a multitude of ways of writing the sound in words. You can have ER, IR, UR, EAR, so there's a number of them. So do try to remember these words as the UR words. Now in curve, don't forget that E on the end. The only reason it's there is because English words can't end in V. Urban, you've got the AN on the end, whereas curtain, you've got AIN on the end. Murder, you've got another R controlled vowel that says the sound in ER. So be careful there. Furnish, you've got the SH on the end of the word for the sh sound, which is common. SH says sh at the start or the end of words most of the time. Purpose, you've got the E making the previous vowel long in these words. Purchase, surface. In suburb, you've just got that prefix sub onto herb, and occur, you've got a short vowel sound, that's why you're doubling the C after it. Now here, you've got to read and fill in the gap with the list word. Then down here, you've got to fill in the gaps with the list word and match the meaning. So see if you can work out what each of these words would be from the list above, and then link them. Maybe use different colours to do that linking. Down here, we've given you the synonyms for some of these list words. You have to work out which list word matches these words that we've given you 3 for each word. Okay, so have a think about that. Okay, in these words we've got curve, urban, curtain, murder, furnish, purpose, purchase, surface, suburb and occur. So in all of these words we've got the UR making the sound. So it's one representation of a vowel with an R that can make that sound. There are others that will also make that sound. So we need you to remember these words are the UR words. Now down here you're going to complete the verb families. There's a trick in every line. So you know when you, if the base word is curve and you're going to add ing, E goes away when ing comes to stay. And when you're adding the D, you don't have to add another E for the ED. If the E's already there, you just add the D. In furnishes, you've got that us sound at the end of words. So if you hear us, you know you are ES. Now occurs, occurring, occurred, you are actually doubling that last letter, the R, because that is a prefix added to a root word. So cur would be the root, so that's why you're doubling that R. We've added a prefix, and now here we're adding suffixes, so it's a double R. Plurals, you have to work out which of the nouns up here that would best fit these 2 sentences in their plural form. And then here you're going to change the missing list word into a noun. So you're going to have to work out which word would best fit that sentence, and then just check to make sure that you've changed its form so it's appearing as a noun, not as it is as a list word above. Down here you're going to change the missing list word into an adjective, so you've got to once again work out which word would best fit the sentence to make it make sense, but make sure you also check that its form is correct as well. Down here you're going to change the missing list word into an adjectival adverb. So it's going to be an adjective that you're going to add an adverb ending to. So adverbs typically end in ly, so that might give you a good hint. Work out what the adjective and then is, and then change it into an adverb by adding ly onto the end of it. Find 2 adjectives to describe a suburb, a surface. You may have different ones to your friends here. And 2 adverbs to describe to purchase something or to murder someone. So once again, you could have different adverbs to what your friends have. On this page we've got a sound sort and then a closed passage at the bottom. So fill in the gaps with IR, UR, OR or ER. They're all making the sound. So go through and do that. You could highlight them if you want to as you go and match the highlighting colours to the phonograms written here. Then you have to write each of those words into the appropriate column under the sound that is represented in each word. So these are all R-controlled vowels. Now it's really important that you remember the UR ones. These ones are probably going to be the hardest to remember. The ER, usually we say ER's on the end of a word, but it can be in the middle of a word too, and the words when it's in the middle of a word are often in tests that are given by schools or bodies that really want to check your spelling capability. Now down the bottom here you've got fill in the gaps to complete the passage and answer the questions. These are all UR words, so you have to read this, work out which of each of those words fits each space. Now down the bottom then you've got 2 questions to answer in relation to that passage that you just read. We want full sentences. So what the question may be, why was there crime scene take at the shops? if you're answering that in a full sentence, you must state the question as part of the sentence. So, there was crime scene tape at the shops because or as. Then the next sentence, what was the narrator going to the shops to buy? So you could change that into the narrator was going to the shops to buy whatever. So you're always incorporating the question into the answer to make full sentences.